Hi everyone, it's Kay. I have the next step in the sewing box tutorial, and before we move on with that, I just wanted to give another little hint on putting the drawer pulls on. As I said in the previous video, I just put glossy access on and lined up the holes and let it set, and then put the brads on. That's all fine and dandy if you can actually see the holes. Sometimes I have trouble seeing the holes because, if it's a really dark paper, or if, depending on your lighting, if it's night or day, and I just know that things like that happen. So what to do without moving your pull by adjusting it in the back is to just stick those brads through the hole. You put your glossy accents on the pull, stick your brads through, and just leave it. Just let it sit. Just make sure those brads are pressed in there nice and tight. And then once it's dry, then you can flatten the brads out on the back without moving your pull. Okay, so moving on. We need to cover our dividers because we've got all our papers on the sides inside of the box. And to cover my dividers, I cut a strip of paper to the width that I need. And I glue the chipboard onto the wrong side, or the back side of the paper I'm using. And I leave about an inch here. And once that's glued on and dry, then I flip it over and I bend it like this. I'm pressing the chipboard down to the table and getting a nice pressed fold there. And I will use my bone folder to push from the opposite side and make sure I get a nice tight fold there. And then once that's done, then I will take a little line of glue here on the edge of that chipboard, and I will take it and, again, pressing down on the table, I'll fold that in, and so that's glued on the edge there. And I'll put glue on the chipboard here and fold it down. And again, I will take the chipboard and make another fold like this. And then once that's all glued down, I will angle it like this one is. It's angled. And I will angle that edge of that paper, and then it's ready to go in. So I will, let's see, I'm probably going to put this one on this side. So I got this here so that I can measure where exactly I want my divider. So I want my divider here, so I will do that. Put it about right there. There's two things you can do. You can stick glue on the edges of your chipboard here so that it's stuck in place right there. And then slide it in and glue your flaps. I'm afraid to do that because, what if it's like this when I put it in, or what if it's leaning this way or leaning that way? I want to make sure I can get it right in place. So I will glue the flaps down first, and then I'll just kind of push and pull a little bit if I can without ripping anything, and then, or even just take a fine tip bottle of glue and just really get that glue in there, and then take a wipe and wipe the excess off. But it'll give it enough glue to maybe just hold it in place. And then you can just press right here like this on your box. Just press in on so that the glue dries to the edges of the edge of this chipboard glues down to the side of the box. Anyway, and then the very last thing that I will do is, once this divider is all glued down and the flaps are all glued down, then I will take the paper, as I've done here, and cover the bottom. And I guess that's not quite the last step because we have this compartment. And before I show you that, I just want to give a shout out to Annette Green. I took a class with her and we made a stationery box, and I had done this before with dividers in boxes and stuff, but I had never done this with a raised compartment. So I just want to give a shout out to her because that's where I learned it from. And so you have your piece here. This is a different one. This is another one I'm doing, but so this is, you have the inside paper to strengthen those hinges there. And all you do is just cut a piece of paper to fit the width of that, and then just glue it down. And again, you can press like this on the fold with your paper. If I can do this with my hand here. So I'm just pressing down, just press down like that, so you get that fold nice and tight with the glue. And then do it again on the other side. And the paper doesn't have to cover the whole entire side. It can just fold over maybe about a half an inch if you want to be really careful, because it's not going to be shown. You're not going to see those sides on the box. And I did not even glue this down. I just shoved it in because mine is tight enough that it's not going anywhere. And if I do decide I don't want it anymore, I can get it out because it's not glued down. And I do have the paper underneath on the back. I do have the bottom paper in there to cover the bottom of the box. So that is the last step of making my sewing toolbox, and I will be back with the full decorated box and show you how I decorated it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.